Today we are going to read the text Best Breakfast Ever by Silver J. King from the book Chicken Soup for the Soul, Best Mom Ever, 101 Stories of Gratitude, Love, and Wisdom. You should have your Voices at Play book. Turn to page 315. We are going to learn reading and viewing strategies. So, what is the aim for today? Okay, I'm going to model and guide you to guess word meanings from the text. And what you will do today is to observe and apply the strategy of guessing word meanings from the context when you're reading from the first text. So we are going to read this book, this text called Best Breakfast Ever from this book. Okay. This book is actually available in the library, but you cannot go to the library right now. So I strongly encourage you to borrow it from the National Library Board. Okay. Okay. I hope you're on this page 315. So, reading and viewing takes more than just understanding the words, sentences, and images on the page. To be a good reader, you need to have a toolbox. Okay, and this toolbox are strategies full of things that you use to stay focused and get the most out of whatever you read. And these are the tools that you can be used before, as, and after as you read and view a text. So, before you read the story, ask yourself what you want to achieve by reading a text. Why are you reading this? Okay, if you say the answer is because my teacher asked me to, no, okay, that is not the reason for reading the text. Okay, so what is one possible for reading the text is because, okay, you want to know what the best breakfast is. Okay, so what strategies should you use to achieve this particular aim of reading the text? I'll look out for descriptions about this particular breakfast and find out the reasons why it is the best breakfast ever. So by the end of the text, what should you have gotten out of it? Okay, I will know what, why, and how this breakfast is the best. Okay, so this is a possible goal and strategies that you can use before you read the text. Next, okay, you have to predict. So, predict the story. What is the story about? Use the title, pictures, book cover, and other information to guess what the text is about. So, look at the title, Best Breakfast Ever. Okay, can you predict when the food in text is eaten? Okay, pause the video and think. Have you gotten the answer? Like, what is your prediction when the food in the text is eaten? If you say that the title is Best Breakfast Ever, so I predict the food in the text is something, the title is Best Breakfast Ever, so I predict the food in the text is something eaten when? In the morning? Okay. So later you check whether if this prediction is accurate. Okay. So look at the writer's name, Silver J. King. Can you predict what kind of cuisine in the text can be? So what do I mean by cuisine? You guess Silver J. King, what nationality is she? It means what country does she come from? So knowing what is her nationality, you can predict what kind of cuisine the breakfast is. Try that. Pause the video. Okay, try and guess that. Okay, have you made a prediction? Okay, so the name Silver J. King sounds like she is from what country? America? Okay, could be. It sounds like an American name. Therefore, I think that the cuisine in the text comes from what country? It can be an American breakfast. Okay. How do you know whether this prediction is accurate? Okay. How do you know what the best breakfast looks like? You can look at the picture in the text. So, how does the best breakfast look like? From the picture, we can see that there are many sunny side up stacked up. Okay, this type of egg with a fried egg with a runny yolk, it's called a sunny side up. Okay, and the plate also consists of fried bacon. Okay, and a cup of coffee. So this is how the best breakfast look like. Okay. So as we read and view the text, you can skim. Okay. So what's skimming? Skimming is about getting the gist of the text. So you look at the title, the introduction, the conclusion, and the images, and then ask, what is the purpose of the text? Okay, so before I answer this question, you also need to consider, okay, to get the gist of the text, what are the main ideas? Okay, so just now, like I mentioned, you can look at the title. Okay, the title is Best Breakfast Ever. Okay, so you can, to know what is the purpose of the text is something to do with the breakfast, right? Okay, so in the look at the quote. One good mother is worth 100 schoolmasters by George Herbert. So who is more valuable? A good mother or a schoolmaster? Sorry, 100 schoolmaster. Which one is more valuable? A good mother. Right? Okay. Now look at the introduction. Okay. My dad worked in construction. His day started early and ended late. All he wanted to do was crash on the couch and relax when he got home. For the most part, that was what he did. No one complained. We were just happy that he was home. So, think after you read this introduction, think about it. What were the writer's father's working hours like? Okay. Do you think the writer's father helped out at home? How did he feel about it? Okay. So, next we look at the conclusion. 3 years ago, Mom entered Heaven's Gate to be greeted by the love of her life. When I miss them, I just imagine how happy they are to be together again. Then a sweet peace and comfort falls all over me. The same way I felt when I saw their tremendous love for each other on that night when my mother made my father a special anniversary breakfast for dinner. Okay, so let's go back to the question. What is the purpose of the text? Pause the video. Think about this. After you have an answer, come back and start the video again. So, have you come up with an answer for this question? What is the purpose of this text? The writer wants to share a personal recount about her mother who has passed away. Right? So, next. Just now I ask you, what were the writer's father's working hours like? Do you think the writer's father helped out at home? How did they feel about it? Pause the video. Think about these questions. After you have an answer, continue watching the video. Do you have an answer ready? Good. So, what were the father's or writer's father's working hours like? So, you can see that, okay, his day started early and ended late. So what are the working hours like? The writer's father worked long hours and spent little time with his family. Okay. Let's continue. Do you think the writer's father helped out at home? So, when he got home, what do he usually do? He will crash on the couch, relax and relax. Right? For the most part, that, what is this that? This crashing on the couch and relax was what he did. Okay, so do you think he helped out at home? No, he does not. Okay, how did they I refer to the writer's family. Alright, they were just happy when he was home. Okay, so the writer and the family members were happy when father was home. Okay, now look at the conclusion. 3 years ago, Mom entered Heaven's Gate to be greeted by the love of her life. Alright, when I miss them, I just imagine how happy they are together again. Then a sweet peace and comfort fall over me. The same way I felt when I saw the tremendous love for each other on that night when my mother made my father a special anniversary breakfast for dinner. So are the writer's parents alive? Who passed away first? And what was the best breakfast? Why was the meal the best breakfast to the writer? Okay, pause the video. Think about it, make the prediction, and come back later. Okay. Do you have an answer? Good. Let's check. So both of the writer's parents passed away. Her father died earlier than her mother. How do you know that? Okay. Because mom entered heaven's gate to be greeted by the love of her life. So who is the love of life? Mom's husband, right? Okay. So father passed away first. So what was the best breakfast? Okay. So the best breakfast was the one when my mother made my father a special anniversary breakfast for dinner. And why was the meal the best breakfast to the writer? Why? Okay. The writer saw her parents' tremendous love for each other and learned what love meant. Okay. So while you're reading, scan. So what does scanning means? It means that you try to look at the first sentence of each paragraph and the headings of each sentence to find what the information might be. And you want to ask, what is my purpose of reading the text? Which parts of text contains information that you're interested in? Then you go on predicting. Okay? Look for the links. Okay? And then try to organize. Okay. So, the part which I'm going to talk about today mainly would be about guess the word meanings. Okay, so when you run into unfamiliar words and phrases, you need to guess their meanings through word parts and context. So you need to think about, can I work this word in parts? Can I use the parts to guess the word meaning? What are the words next to around it? Okay, so turn to page 316 and we will begin.